Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. The official trailer for Disney's Cruella was just released this morning, and I'm pretty excited to check it out. When this film was first announced, I definitely had my reservations. With only a few exceptions, Disney's recent live-action remakes haven't exactly been my favorite movies. That, and the fact that we've already had a live-action remake of 101 Dalmatians caused me to scoff at this idea initially. But the realization that this was going to be more of a villain origin story than a remake got me more interested, as did Emma Stone's casting as Cruella de Vil. I think this movie really could go either way. It's totally possible that it's going to be very disappointing, but Cruella de Vil is such a bizarre and malicious villain that I think there's a lot of potential for an interesting backstory. Hopefully this first trailer gives us a sense of which scenario we're dealing with, so let's check it out.
From the very beginning, I realized I saw the world differently than everyone else. That didn't sit well with some people. But I wasn't for everyone.
I like Emma Stone as Cruella de Vil here.
Scared that I'd be a psycho.
She's got the laugh down. Okay, so Horace and Jasper there.
Brings new opportunities. And I was ready to make a statement.
Drop in a few Dalmatians.
How does the saying go?
Very Hunger Games reveal.
Hear me roar.
Oh man, her driving the car, that's a very iconic image. Kind of an interesting music choice with Connie Francis.
The thing is, I was born brilliant. Born bad. And a little bit mad. I'm Cruella.
Okay, and we've got a release date there still. So still sticking with the May date, whether that's theatrical or possibly going to Disney Plus. But anyway, I like that trailer. Definitely more of a teaser trailer, but I think it works with this movie because we already know who this character is. We already know what her endpoint's gonna be, right? We know that she's gonna become Cruella de Vil and try to make a coat out of puppies. So we don't really need a ton, I guess, to be interested at least. I am curious about what the story's gonna actually kind of be, and I'm curious about this origin and this backstory, but this trailer was enough to get me interested, at least. I'm interested to see what they do with her character, though. With these origin stories, right, like, you could go two different ways, right? You could go sort of the Maleficent route and try to justify the character's actions, right? Take an evil villain that you, like, hate from the original movie, but give some sympathetic qualities, or kind of make her an empathetic character. So I feel like it might be hard to do that with a character that kills puppies, or tries to kill puppies. So I'm wondering if they're just gonna more kind of revel in her complete evilness, and kind of just show that progression to where she becomes this very evil character. I think it's probably gonna be more like that, but either way, I'd still kind of be interested to see what happens. I think Emma Stone is really good as this character, at least from the little clips that we get here. She's able to play that sort of overly confident and narcissistic character with a little bit of a kind of flair of dark comedy. So I like that. I think she's a good choice. And it's gonna be different from Glenn Close's version. But I think there's hints of it, and I think there's gonna be a little bit of an homage there. But like I said, I'm really curious about this story, like what her background is. Obviously she's in high fashion here. We knew that from the original movie, that she's this kind of designer. And I'm it seems like she kind of gets in with criminal stuff pretty early on, right? It's not like this puppy coat plan was her first evil idea, at least from the looks of this, with Cruella written on buildings and stuff. We get a little glimpse of Horace and Jasper, at least I assume that it was Horace and Jasper. So I'm very curious to see how she kind of gets involved with them, right? Like how they kind of hook up as a group, and how those two kind of henchmen end up in her employ, because she seems like she kind of comes from a very different world than them. You know, again, high fashion versus not so much with Horace and Jasper. But I like it. The other thing that really stood out to me was kind of the stylization of this trailer. And not just the trailer, but I believe the stylization of the film. It kind of gave me kind of Birds of Prey vibes in terms of the look and sort of feel. Not necessarily the story or, you know, how Emma Stone's playing the character versus how Margot Robbie played Harley Quinn, but I kind of got that sort of vibe. It's very highly stylized, but I think it works because this is a very over-the-top evil character, and you know, she's in high fashion, and so it makes sense that it'd be this very stylized thing. You know, she has this sort of Hunger Games burn up the outer layer to reveal the dress kind of thing. And the other thing that really was unexpected for me was the choice of music. Going with Connie Francis. Thematically, I think it kind of works. And with a teaser trailer like this, when you're trying to introduce a villain like this, it's kind of typical to go with this slower, kind of more dark, ominous kind of sound, this echoey, you know, slow type of music. But all of the marketing that we've had so far, albeit it's been very minimal, has been very sort of punk driven, right? It's had like a punk aesthetic. And the fact that this movie is supposed to be set in 1970s London, I was expecting some sort of punk song, some sort of punk music. I mean, like, 77 London is the punk scene, but I anticipate that we're gonna get that probably in later trailers, possibly in the movie, but I was expecting something along those lines, so that kind of caught me off guard. But it wasn't bad, just not what I anticipated. So anyway, those are just my thoughts on the trailer, but what did you think about it? Are you excited for another villain origin story, or are you just kind of interested in new stuff and think this kind of return to past characters has been played out a little bit too much? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment or insight out of this trailer reaction, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe or at it to see more videos like this, as well as movie reviews. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainely Movies, the way life should be.